Well, hey everybody, John Ritland here, and this is my review of WoW Women of Wrestling Episode 5. And I do want to apologize for the delay in this review, but I did have some personal things to take care of, so that's why it's going up a couple hours later. And also for next week, February 22nd, I will have to unfortunately have that review up a number of hours later as I'm working Friday night, and then I also work very early Saturday morning. You will get that review, may just be a few hours later. But anyway, I really did enjoy tonight's episode. I do want to have two quibbles though that I want to get right out of the way. One, the jump cuts during some of the matches are getting a little nauseating. They really need to stop with that stuff. I don't like that in any wrestling promotion. I mean, it doesn't matter which one it is. You need to cut down a little bit on the jump cuts. And the commentary team here and there, I mean, they're fine, but there are times where they're trying to talk over each other too much and it gets a little it can take away from the match sometimes, even though every single one of them try to put over the match as best they can. But that being said, let's get on with the show. David McLane welcomes us, and we get recaps of what happened with Tessa Blanchard, Santana Garrett, and Jungle Girl. How Tessa ended up being covered by both Jungle Girl and Santana Garrett. So the question was who would actually be the champion because it was for the championship. And even though Santana Garrett had the title, since another person covered the other opponent, like, okay, well, what's going to happen? Well, Dave McLane's in the ring and says, okay, well, hey, we're gonna have we're gonna have the competitors come out. Well, Jungle Girl came out. She's like there. It's like Dave McLane says, oh, I'm sure you're expecting me to introduce Santana Garrett. Unfortunately, she's attending her dad in the hospital, so she is not here. So the idea is, okay, well, now who's going to be the champion? If the champion actually can't be there, what's going on? Tessa Blanchard comes out and runs down Santana, runs down a couple others. I should be champion. I'm a Blanchard. I'm a born legend. All this kind of stuff. And then, of course, the Beast appears, as one does, as any dominant female and any dominant competitor would do. She appears, and then her Jungle Girl, Tessa Blanchard, kind of have a bit of a scuffle. Tessa ends up pushing Jungle Girl into the Beast. That's important to remember for later. And we end up having a match between Jungle Girl and Tessa Blanchard for the vacant WoW Championship later in the night. I wonder if you can guess what's going to happen. But first, we have Havoc. Yes, Havoc from her brief run in Impact. And, she's been on the Indies also. Has a video package giving a brief history. It was nice. It's nice to get these video packages. That is one thing David McLane, Jeannie Buss, and everybody there, everybody behind this production tend to do pretty well. Introduce nice quick little recaps and ways to let these women be themselves and everything. That is really cool. We then get Havoc versus Fire. Fire's been pretty over and everything. And this is power versus speed in the biggest sense of the word, or the biggest sense, of the catchphrase, or cliche, whatever you want to call it. Havoc did, after Fire hit some moves, Havoc did dominate early, beating her down. She was clearly the bigger of the two and the stronger of the two. Fire does come back, hitting some good moves, kicking her a lot, but, not really knocking her down. And then she does try for the top rope splash crossbody. That does not work. Havoc ends up eventually hitting an air raid crash for the 1-2-3. Not a bad match. It was a good showcase for Havoc. While Fire did not look super weak. So it was what it was. And then we get a character by the name of Keita Rush. And I apologize if I did mispronounce that, since I don't have captions there on this DVR, so I had to just go by what they said. But she's looking at some footage of being attacked in an alleyway or whatever, and I can't believe it's her. And who is it? Well, we're gonna find out later. I mean, we're gonna find out. They did so many quick cuts during this. Bottom line is she's gonna get revenge on her attacker. Okay, granted. All right. I mean, let's see where that storyline goes. And then we get to match number 2 is a disciplinarian with Samantha Smart, the very, very intelligent and very beautiful Samantha Smart. I will say that much right here. Versus Chantelly Cella, and I keep thinking they're saying Chinchilla all the time, and I feel bad because her energy is nice. This was a match I think that went on maybe a minute too long, but still not a bad match at all. Cella did do some good wrestling. Good use of side headlock and good use of trying to ground the disciplinarian. Disciplinarian took over. Then you had Samantha Smart using her ruler as, having this giant yardstick and everything and just hitting people with it. There was, some good stuff with that. Cella did, have some good speed and almost got the victory. But in the end, a TKO ends up pinning her. Disciplinarian gets a victory. And okay, cool. That was pretty nice. Pretty good way to do it. Get some good heel heat and everything. Razor, who, the vanguard of violence, one of the Psycho sisters, her and Fury, that was on a couple, like a week or two ago. She's talking and saying, well, hey, I'm gonna win my match tonight or whatever. I'm gonna bring the violence, this kind of stuff, all da. And then we get a video package from the Lioness recapping more of her history and everything, and talking about her first match. And being at such a young age, she knows that it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And then we get Lioness doing her entrance, singing her own entrance, better than it was the first time. I will say that. Maybe she's just more comfortable. Maybe the audio is better. I'm not really sure. But this did flow a little bit better. Fury ends up helping Razor take over after like Lioness hit some good moves. And Razor with a very, very nice camel clutch. Very, very expertly done, and clawing at her and doing this kind of stuff or whatever. Really, really good stuff. I really did enjoy how she kind of put her own spin on it, but really total pro, hitting that move perfectly. Then, once Lioness got out of that, you end up having a big drop kick from the top. 4-3, Lioness actually got the victory, and then Fury ends up attacking her afterwards. So, okay, that's what we end up having. Cool, it was what it was. Lioness got a victory, and Fury and Razor still kept their heat. And then you have a Norwegian female wrestler by the name of Krampus, which is spelled just a little differently. It's spelled with an A, AS instead of a US. But it is what it is. So, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really see much of anything besides like, oh, it's a Norwegian female wrestler. Okay, cool. All right. Interesting. I don't know if she's actually going to be Norwegian or if it's just somebody playing in Norwegian, but we'll find out. And then we get our main event. It's Jungle Girl versus Tessa Blanchard for the WoW Women's Championship, the vacant WoW Women's Championship. And this was actually pretty good. At least they gave this a little bit of time as opposed to a couple other matches they had for the title. This got a decent amount of time. I think about 10 minutes or close to it. Very good wrestling. Tessa playing a really good super heel and everything. Perfectly well done. There were some really good momentum switches. Jungle Girl kept kicking out stuff at one. It was a nice armbar submission, and Jungle Girl got out of it. There was then a ref bump. Jungle Girl ends up hitting a jungle driver, driving Tessa to the ground, hits a top rope splash. Really well done top rope splash. And you can tell that she's a total pro because even a fraction of a bit off, and that's not going to end well. And because the ref is down, there is no pin. There's nobody to make the pin. Well, what happens? Oh, the Beast from earlier comes out and attacks Jungle Girl, lays her out. Tessa ends up getting the pin on Jungle Girl for the 1-2-3 after the ref comes to. And Tessa Blanchard is your WoW Women's Champion. And that's Jungle Girl's first pinfall loss in WoW. So, okay, that was good stuff. Again, my quibbles aside, I did enjoy this episode. It's a nice, palate cleanser, really good, hour-long show, and they make the most of it. At least the women were allowed to go out there and tell some good stories. I can't say that the promotion's perfect, but it is really nice to see women's wrestling in all women's promotion getting this kind of spotlight. Hopefully Access TV maybe, presents, maybe gives them a little more time for some of these episodes, but we will see. Anyway, so I'm going to say, quibbles aside, I'll say B. I'll say B minus. B minus to B is actually where I'm going to go. So I'm just going to say B. Pull above my head because I was entertained by it. And like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland, and I will see you soon.